Alright. So we're several hours into this game, and we finally have the thing it's named after.
Son of a gun.
Really? Son of a gun? I'm pretty sure this game's rated M. You can say bitch.
He actually sent us back in time.
It's almost like we totally knew that was possible, and the whole reason we were going after the Daikatana.
Great. Just great.
Oh, I don't have any buddies. Thank Christ.
Have stranded us in different timelines. Looks like I'm on my own.
Which is good. The fact that I'm on alone makes this actually a much, much better game. We have no weapons other than the Daikatana, which he swings very slowly, sadly. Oh, luckily, the actual damage impulse happens immediately. Well, not immediately, but much, much faster than the animation. Acquired the Disc of Daedalus, which is now my #1 weapon. What is the key for the Daikatana? It doesn't have its own key, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Oh, this has ammo. Is this consumable, or does it come back to me? Oh, it comes back to me. Okay. So sort of like the, oh, what's it called? The, I think it's called the Hawkwind in Turok. Disc you throw and comes back. That's straight out of Turok. I think it's called the Hawkwind, and then there's, in Perfect Dark Zero, which is well after this game, so it's obviously not inspired by that. I think it's called the Razor Wind in that. It's functionally the same thing as the Turok weapon. Also, that bird appears to be stuck. Oh well. So let's try the Daikatana here. Okay. It makes very, 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 very weak-sounding tings when I hit things with it, instead of nice, bone-crunching smashes, because I'm slamming skeletons with it. This thing should make really meaty impacts, and it totally doesn't. It's legendary sword, so legendary the game is fucking named after it, and it goes ting. Although it does make sort of an ethereal hum when I swing it, which is nice. Also, it does leave, like, lightsaber scorch marks when you hit things with it, but the sound's not quite up to snuff. Very cool to see this incredibly drastic change in scenery, though. Like, we're now in ancient ruins, just hard cut from, you know, dystopian future industrial to now we have stone pillars and statues and shit. One of the huge benefits you get with doing time travel in video games, and why so many video games have done time travel, is because video games are just very well suited to time travel. By their real-time nature, just makes time travel work really well in video games. But it also gives you a very easy excuse to have a lot of variety in environments. And I do quite like these engravings here. They're very deeply sinister, in a way that's kind of nice, actually. Unfortunately, actually using the Daikatana feels like ass, so you're probably going to see me mostly using the Disc of Daedalus. And that engraving there, it's like a relief carving, has a pretty convincing depth effect to it. Oh. Bitch, I'm looking at the scenery. I don't know if it's bump mapped or if it's just drawn to look 3D, but it actually has convincing depth to it. But yeah, the issue here is that because the animations are weirdly slow, and yet the actual damage impulse happens well before the sword actually hits, it's very hard to gauge off of the visual feedback precisely when you should be moving forward and backing up. Because obviously the trick here is to swing, move forward, and then back up. Swing, move forward, and then back up. But if you swing and then move forward, you'd want to do that because the swing is so slow. So because the animation looks really slow, it makes you want to hit it and then move forward, so that by the time you reach the enemy, the really slow animation has commenced, or has, you know, finished. But instead, the damage impulse actually happens deceptively quickly, meaning if you attack and then move forward, it's actually over by the time you reach the enemy. So you kind of need to move forward and attack and then back up, which then just makes the visual look completely desynchronized from what's actually happening, which then just throws off your timing. So the feedback here is extremely poor for that reason. And I can't help but feel like that's a thing that wouldn't really be that hard to fix. Just time the animations so that the damage happens when the blade actually contacts, because it's really gonna kill the visual feedback if it doesn't work the way your brain wants it to. Which it definitely doesn't. So I think I'm just going to use the disc instead, because at least then I can keep my fucking distance. Oh shit. I wasn't expecting it to leap at me like that. Also, frankly, the disc makes better clang sounds. Oh, still a little spider there. Ooh. There is something down here. And since this thing's fixed rate of fire based on when it comes back to me, the attack upgrade doesn't actually help me on that thing. It also does not actually seem to make the Daikatana swing any faster. So that attack upgrade there is even more useless than the upgrades usually are. Oh, this appears to be the equivalent of the healing stations, the hospitals. It does have exactly the same problem of there's really no good reason to make me stare at this while it happens over time instead of just having it happen immediately. Does it regen? Yes, it does. Okay, so that just makes me stand around even longer. Also, am I drinking this, or is it just urinating on me, and that somehow helps? So, do I fuck up this statue? Is there anything down here? Ooh. Is this a switch? Yes. Also, it sounds like there's a really weird aliasing. There's like a scratchy, high-frequency thing happening. I think is aliasing in some sort of ambient sound. What do we have? That doesn't appear to go anywhere. What about over here? This looks like it kind of goes somewhere. I don't even know what I'm looking for at this point. Ooh, fuck, these things can jump a lot. When if you miss with the disc, that is the downside. It can take a really long time to come back. Seems like it always does, though. I'm not sure if it's possible to lose this thing. It's weird it has an ammo count if I can't. Actually, it's kind of fun to use. Oh, well, I guess this was the way forward. And then I should have gotten out of the water, the other way. Yeah, I didn't get out of the water right here. Ooh, it's some armor. I do want that. Okay, yeah, that was worth going back for. Also, I would love a level up at this point. Oh, actually, speaking of which, if you look over at the levels, it looks like a new slot has been revealed. Because you'll note, like on the power and vitality, I was only allowed to level to 2, and then the other 3 were sort of grayed out. Looks like the third one is no longer grayed out. So it's weird you're allowed to pick which thing you level up, because you get to allot the point when you get it. Oh shit. I lost my disc. Come on. Oh, did I lose it permanently? Oh no, okay, I finally got it back. So you get to allot which thing levels up, but the game still gives you an arbitrary cutoff for, oh, you're only allowed to go up to level 2 right now. Oh, you're only allowed to go up to level 3 right now. So I'm allowed to pick which thing levels, but only within a pretty arbitrarily limited way. I mean, I guess that's so you don't end up too powerful too quickly, but the level ups themselves happen at a pretty known rate, because there's a finite number of enemies in the game. And frankly, the levels don't actually seem to make really much difference at all, to be brutally honest. Even when I've gotten power-ups that max out a thing, I can barely tell. So it's not like if they didn't have that cap and I just dumped every level into power and, you know, maxed it out way earlier than they wanted me to. It's not like it would really make all that much difference to the overall gameplay. I suppose Vitality would, because that's the one that really does make a pretty noticeable difference, but also I'm going to ask the question I always do, who keeps these lit? It's always a problem you have when there's torches and braziers and stuff in games. Who the fuck maintains them? You do always have that question in fantasy games. You go into some ancient-ass tomb that no one's been in for 100 years, and all the torches are lit. Oh, you can break those. Although they break long after you hit them. That's kind of weird. Wow, even the breaking has huge latency. Don't you close on me. Ooh, it looks like I can ricochet between enemies. Also, that swoosh sound, that's like a cartoon whoosh sound effect that, for me, I associate with the Humongous Entertainment games. I'm pretty sure that's in Pajama Sam when he leaps around. And when I'm playing your badass John Romero, violent, blowing enemies into chunks first-person shooter, I probably shouldn't be thinking about Pajama Sam. Yeah, that. I guess it's... Oh, I'm supposed to break those. Oh, okay. I guess it's when you melee with the thing up close. Yeah, when enemies are really close, instead of throwing it, you melee, and it makes a cartoon sound effect that I swear is in Humongous Entertainment games. Also, it looked like this was another disc of Daedalus. Ooh. Does that mean I can throw two at once? Oh, it does! Okay, that's fucking cool. This is, I think, the first weapon in the game I've genuinely had a lot of fun with. Oh, yeah. Although, is it even worth mentioning this thing has a lot of latency? It doesn't throw until long after I've clicked. In fact, I'm going to try to hold the mouse up to the microphone so you can compare when the click happens to when it actually throws. That difference is huge. And man, I do love this sudden shift in scenery. And not only shift in scenery, but shift in type of weaponry we're using. It very suddenly feels like we're playing a different game. Okay, ooh, hey. Armor I didn't really need. So let's go through the other door then. I have no clue where I'm going, or even really what my objective is. I guess I don't have one, I'm just stranded in time. So I guess as far as Hiro knows, his objective at this point is just don't die. But from a gameplay perspective, it would be nice to have some concept of what's happening. I guess my real objective right now is to get back to my super important friends. Also, I didn't kill the other spider. Did he explode on the door or something? I guess my real objective right now is to get back to my super important, ultra, extra special friends, Mikiko and Superfly. Neither of which I care about or really know anything about. And this room just dead ends into healing items. Okay. How about in here? Aha. Okay, this is clearly the way forward. Also, I can't help but notice, the difficulty has dropped dramatically. Picked up the Horn of Charon. What does it do, and how do I select it? Oh, that's screen size. Okay. Or is it not an equipable thing, but just a thing I'll use contextually in the environment? I don't appear to be able to equip it, so I don't think it's a usable item. That's weird, like, just the previous level before we got here, man, it was a disaster. Everything was firing rockets at me. It was actually kind of tough to stay alive. Here, I'm barely getting hit at all, because I can just spam my ranged weapon on enemies that have no ranged attack. Cannot exit without the drachma. Okay. I didn't realize that was an exit. Oh, I leveled up. Nice. Fucking finally. So we had a really big difficulty spike, and followed immediately by a huge difficulty drop. Do I... Oh, I hit use on that. I don't know if that's a mount for the horn? Yes, it is. So do I call a boatman, and I need a drachma to pay him? Oh yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Okay. And the camera just swoops around aimlessly, because that's what it does in every scene. For about half of its movement, he wasn't even in frame anyway. Yeah, I know he's here. I don't need to see every second of it.
Hello there. I'm looking for some friends of mine.
They're not really my friends, but...
You probably can't even understand me, can you? I need to get to the other side of the...
I'll just do that thing people do in movies, where when they're talking to somebody who doesn't speak their language, I'll just say it again louder.
Hey, I'm Hiro.
Charon. Drachma.
Huh?
Drachma.
Yeah, drachma is a type of money.
I get it. Drachma's your local currency.
Even I know that. How the hell does Hiro not?
Me across.
Drachma.
Drachma. Right. I'll be back.
Wow. It took Hiro about 7 times longer than it should have for him to realize the guy wanted to be paid. So now I have a choice. Frankly, I'm just going to ignore speed and acro. I really don't need them. Ordinarily, I would go with vitality, because I was getting my ass kicked in the previous few levels, but the difficulty has also dropped dramatically, so I think I'm going to go with power. Because you can never have too much power. Also, my HUD has disappeared. Show all HUDs, / There we go. Alright, it's just a shame that Daikatana itself is not actually satisfying to use. The whole point of the game was to get it, and it's named after it, and it's actually kind of useless. This game should have been named Disc of Daedalus, because this is the best thing in the entire game so far. And there's yet more armor, and more healing. This game's convinced I'm supposed to be taking tons of damage here. And yet the enemies can't even reach me, although this door is apparently locked. Okay, let's backtrack to the other locked door I saw before I came out here. Maybe it's open now. Oh, it is, yes. Boulder's blocking that one, which there's really no reason for, because it just opens the other side. But I guess it's a little bit of detail. God, that thing is really creepy. Wait, did that spider die because it ended up on top of the torch? I swear I didn't actually hit it the last time. Ooh, hey, that looks breakable. Oh god. Ooh, and you can see the edge of the transparency on that. Because that whole texture is this rectangle here. And it's transparent in this section, but they, I guess, fucked up the edge of it? Oh yeah, that one has it too, right there. Oh, that's a shame. How does that happen, though? If that whole edge of the texture is transparent, how do you end up... Ooh, fuck. Well, the floor just broke out from under me, and I just luckily happened to be over there instead. That was pure luck, and he killed himself on the spikes. But yeah, how does that happen? Like, oh yeah, there it is. There's a little bit of a errant pixel there. But if that whole section in the actual file is pure alpha, you know, transparent, how does there end up with an errant pixel like that? I'm not even sure how that issue happens, although I have seen it a number of times in other games where you can see the edge of the transparency. Even in games I've played on this channel, I think I've pointed that out more than once. I at least did it on the blood in... I think it was in Alien Resurrection. There was a blood splatter where you could clearly see the edge of the texture where there should be transparency. And that decal is hovering in space. And we can see the edge of it. So that's not an uncommon problem, apparently, and I'm not really sure how it happens. That wall just exploded on its own. Once again, I'm going to say the music is really quiet. Let's just make it the same as sound effects. That made it weirdly much louder. Now there's much more... Is there some sort of bug where the music isn't fully rendering in until I fiddle with the controls and then suddenly it loads in? That's weird. I will admit, I've barely been noticing the music for the vast majority of this game, and I'm now starting to suspect that's because for the vast majority of the game, the music hasn't even been loading in properly, and... Oh, I just backed up right into the spikes like an idiot because I was busy talking. I remembered those were there exactly as I fell into them. Bugger. But yeah, it's possible the music just isn't rendering in fully, and that's why I'm not noticing it, because it's actually not there. Oh. Oh, these are switches. I didn't notice that last time. So, did that do something I need to backtrack to? Did not appear to do anything out here. Oh, it opened this. And it looks like there's a back scratcher in here. Ooh. Wow, some sort of weird venom scepter. I'm assuming, I only have 20 shots, I'm assuming it spits venom. Honestly, this feels sort of like a kind of weapon that would be in Hexen or something. Well, they ricochet. Oh, and then sit in place. I wonder if they do DOT? Could they last a fair while? I do wish this actually... Yeah, see, it always comes straight back to you. I do wish it reflected at the angle of incidence. In other words, like if I threw it here, I would want it to ricochet that way, you know, and then come back. So that, like, say in this doorway here, I would love to be able to throw it in that doorway and have it ricochet into the room. Luckily, they don't even try to avoid it. Oh, you're stuck. Well, that makes you easier to kill. That appears to be a drachma. I'm assuming grabbing it will fill the level with enemies. Or it's just gonna start collapsing. Oh, shit. Or they just come out of the... Oh, okay, they just come out of the statues. Yeah, these guys really aren't much of a threat, are they? Especially when they get stuck in doorways. Oh, hey, and this is a loop around. Nice. Yeah. I feel like balance is an issue here. This is weirdly easy compared to the level we just left. Anyway, here's your fucking gold piece or whatever.
Glad to see you're still here, Charon.
And levitating in the air for no reason. I don't think he is supposed to be. I think he was supposed to be standing on the... Oh, yeah, we're not supposed to clip inside him like that. So the scene's just broken.
You'll have to bear with me.
Here, let me grope your crotch, because you're too high up.
Sure where I should get off.
Catacombs.
Catacombs? What catacombs? Is that where I'll find my missing companions?
Probably not. They're presumably in different timelines.
Not much, do you? Fine. I can take a hint.
Daikatana, 1.14 out of 5. I have no clue what that means. Is that like a power level? Does it get more powerful as I kill things with it? Man, this really calm river sounds an awful lot like a raging ocean for some reason. Or aimless sort of camera angles. I don't think we need this much coverage of the fact that we're about to reach a beach. We could just, in this shot here, reach the beach. Or we can cut to a yet more coverage. Wow. That was a lot of camera angles of one thing happening. Ooh, another disc. Grabbing that.
Can't say it's been fun, but thanks for the ride.
Yeah, he's not there.
Why am I not surprised?
Which wasn't even revealed by the camera, but... So we got like ridiculous amounts of coverage of the fact that we were reaching a beach, but we didn't even get one shot of the fact that the guy wasn't there. Anyway, I'm looking in the manual for something about the Daikatana. No, I'm not actually seeing anything in the manual. It is in this menu though, 1.14 out of 5. So I guess what I'll do is use it for a bit and see if that goes up when I kill enemies. I'm assuming that's some sort of power rating, and like I absorb the souls of things I kill with it, but fuck if I know if that's actually what's happening. It's not like the game explained any of it. And amazingly, neither does the fucking manual, which you'd think is the whole point of the manual. As ever, it's really hard to paste that, right? Yeah, see, it does look like it's absorbing them, and now it's 1.16. I gotcha. I don't know what happens when it reaches 5, if that just means it does more damage. Frankly, I don't really want to use it. I would rather use the Discs of Daedalus anyway. So I'm not sure it really matters to me if it does reach level 5. I don't know if there's some plot important reason it needs to, though. Also, it seems like when I click, he swings a random number of times. That was 1, that was 1. That was 2. Okay. Yeah, see, that was 2, and I just clicked once. So that's also throwing off my timing, is that sometimes he swings it twice when I don't actually want him to. 0.26. Yeah, this thing's going to take forever to get to level 5. So at least that's persistent across areas, because I started this one still at 1.14, so... Another massive problem the Daikatana has, you've probably already noticed it. Ooh, I got a sun flare. It's cool, we're getting completely different weapons now. Partly because the weapons we had all kind of sucked. With the exception of the Ion Blaster, which was okay. But there's another huge problem that Daikatana has, which is that despite it's a long blade that I'm slashing across the whole screen, there isn't an arc of damage in front of me like a sword would be. The damage itself happens on one single infinitely small point. like, right in front of me. Now, with a thrust, that makes sense, but even with a slash, the actual damage effect is on one singular point. So it's not like I can just slash at what's in front of me. At least it doesn't feel like it, because I keep missing things, even though the arc should really be going through them. Yeah, like that. It was a horizontal slash with it right in front of me, but instead of slashing through it, it hit a single point to the left of the spider, even though I clearly slashed through it. So, I mean, I've seen other games with swords do that. Like Oblivion does that, for example, where even though you're swinging a weapon, the actual damage happens just where your crosshair is. But at least in Oblivion you have a crosshair. I have it for this. When we switch the sword, it goes away. Even though the damage is still in a single point anyway, and I really would benefit from having a crosshair. Although the collision's kind of wonky, because there I'm hitting well left of center. Am I not hitting him? There we go. You'd think if this game got one thing right, it would be the fucking Daikatana, considering that's what it's named after. And of course, you'll also note, I'm now taking tons and tons of damage because I have chosen to use the sword. Yeah, see, I'm slashing right at that thing, and I just have to wait until the janky-ass collision decides it's hitting the right part. And that, yeah, that hit. I was looking here, and it hit all the way over there. So it doesn't even really matter what you're looking at. It kind of just hits what it wants. Oh shit, was that one with a projectile weapon? Oh, it is. Okay. Now we have whatever this is, which actually emits dynamic light, which is cool. Oh, I didn't... Oh. I accidentally bumped the load screen. So I'm assuming this is some sort of grenade, essentially. It just does splash damage, I would assume. I only have 2 of them, though, so I'll wait to use it. I acquired Cobra Venom. Oh, we're finally getting ammo for that. Seems to be pretty effective. Still takes a good 3 hits to take those out, though, which is the same as the disc and the same as the Daikatana, so... Seems like everything I have does the same damage, which does... It's a little underwhelming, because it means there isn't like a thing that's clearly well-suited to a specific task. I could kind of just be using any one of them and it would be the same. Part of the reason Doom works so well is... Oh, another disc. Part of the reason Doom works so well is there's such a clear role for every single thing. You can pick which weapon you like the most, which is generally the shotgun. Also, I really like the look of this staircase. I keep looking at it. Where it's all broken up and this water has eroded a path through it. That is fantastic. I love the way that looks, and that's a great detail to have done this. But you can sort of pick which weapon you like the most in Doom, and generally it's going to be the shotgun, because it's the most general purpose weapon, yes. But there are still situations where it makes more sense to switch to something else. So, like with Lost Souls, if you have a stream of Lost Souls coming at you, the shotgun isn't really a high enough rate of fire to interrupt their dashes consistently, so you're much better off switching to the chain gun for that. So there's a very clear reason to pick one thing over another. They have very clear roles. And so which thing you're using is to a certain extent informed by what's happening in the game. It's informed by the challenge you're facing. Here it's really not, because this thing, the venom spitter and the sword, they all seem to do exactly the same damage. They take basically 3 hits on the skeletons, but there's not really a clear reason to pick any one over any other than the fact that the disc has no ammo. I mean, it literally does in that I can throw a fixed number of them, but I don't run out. And it's ranged. This thing is also ranged, but I can run out of ammo. So that makes it kind of not worth picking over the discs. And then this thing, the Daikatana, it does basically the same amount of damage, but isn't ranged. So really, there's no reason to pick it at all. It's also incredibly awkward to use because its animations are so desynchronized with the damage that it's very, very hard to play, because your visual feedback is completely wrong relative to what's actually happening in the gameplay. So there isn't like a strong role. There isn't a clear application of each one of these weapons where I can cycle between them based on what's happening. It's kind of just that the Disc of Daedalus is objectively better than the others, and fuck the rest. I mean, yeah, it fires faster than the disc, so that's its benefit, I suppose. I don't know if the venom can hurt me. Yes, it can. Well, oh, and then it does DOT poison. And quite a bit of it. Well, that's a huge reason not to use this. Fuck it, I'll just stick to the discs. Especially because those venom rounds bounce around. There's a pretty good chance they'll... Oh my god, these things are annoying. There's a pretty good chance they'll just hit me anyway. Also, I think I really should emphasize, do you remember how I described when you touch slanted surfaces, you slide along them automatically? That's a very huge problem in this area because everything is a slanted surface. So I keep getting hung up on the walls and then getting vacuumed in random directions. And then like, here, I'm not touching the keyboard at all. I'm just zooming along the wall because it's slanted. And every wall is, so this whole level is a nightmare of everything I touch just starts zooming me around randomly. Oh, there was one right behind me. Oh, man. Well, it was fun for a bit to be in this different area, but now it's kind of just turning into a clusterfuck. Well, let's just sit next to this thing for an hour. Wow, spine tingling. Also, it's not even on the ground because it has a flat bottom and the ground is not flat. So their only choice was to make it hover. What you could have done is taken one of these stones here, sunken that partially into the ground so that this was in contact with the flat top of that, and then the fact that the thickness of it was sunken into this slanted ground would account for the fact that the ground is slanted. I'm suspicious of all these torches now. Surely one of them's interactable. Ooh, that's interactable. Or, oh no, it opens that. Nice. I'm not terribly excited by that, though, because, frankly, this thing drains over time, so... As a temporary health boost in the first place, it's not actually that useful. Although I'll try to fight this thing with a sword and thus take a ton of hits, because the sword sucks ass. I'm not even slightly convinced by the Daikatana itself. It is what we in the trade call profusely shite, mostly because they didn't even synchronize it, which I feel like that wouldn't even have been hard to do. Also, that was an incredibly loud sound effect. And now I'm gonna have to try to do, presumably, a tricky jump here, which I have a feeling isn't going to work, because the jump button sometimes doesn't actually work. Although I got away with it. I don't know, this is kind of weird. I'm both really enjoying the stark change in setting and gameplay. Like, I admire the variety of this being so starkly different, but I'm also just frustrated that it isn't more fun than it is. Because enough here is interesting that I feel like it should be more fun than it is. Which just makes me frustrated that it's not. See, now I can't even hit this fucking board without trying 3 times. Ooh, hey. What I'm trying to figure out is exactly how long the Daikatana is, because I actually think it's a bit longer than I've been thinking it is, but the collision is so finicky and unreliable and weird that it's actually very hard to tell for sure how far I'm actually allowed to be from an enemy and still hit them. Looks like I can't hit these through there no matter how hard I try. Although they can hit me, which is fantastic. Oh, and that closes behind me, because of course it does. Oh, fucking with my mouse cable though, give me a sec. Ugh. Alright. This is clearly a trap. I wasn't expecting it to trigger a cutscene. That's gonna close behind me. Oh no, fall out from under me.
Man. That was stupid.
Yeah, especially because I knew ahead of time it was a trap.
Mikiko.
Oh, you are here.
Oh, glad to see you're alright. Mind giving me a hand?
No problem. Hang on.
Also, by the way, what the fuck are we gonna do now that we're trapped out of time? They're both taking this really well. They should be kind of panicking. Wow, that lever pulling animation was incredibly accurate. It really looked like she was grabbing it, and not 4 feet away from it. That walk cycle.
Much appreciated. Any sign of Superfly?
I haven't seen him. He could be anywhere. I say we forget about him and move on.
Wow.
No way. We're not leaving without him.
She doesn't give a fuck.
Altruistic of you. Do I need to...
Not that she has any reason to, but still. Damn.
Can't waste our time looking for some has-been thug.
I can't believe you're being so cavalier about a guy who risked his own skin to rescue you from Kage's clutches.
Don't get self-righteous.
Well, he had to fight his way out of there anyway. It wasn't necessarily to save her.
Chances are, this Johnson fellow will end up stabbing us in the back somewhere down the pike. Besides which, he's probably outlived his usefulness to us anyway.
Why is this scene still going? No one's made a new point yet.
You're underestimating him. For all we know, Superfly may very well turn out to be the one to tip the scales in our favor next time we...
Okay, yes, Hiro wants to save him. She doesn't. We're going in circles. Cut.
Your way, for now.
Cut.
Glad we got that settled. Now come on. Let's go find you a weapon. I'm sure we'll be needing more than the Daikatana to get us out of this mess.
Yeah, especially considering it sucks ass and isn't even slightly fun to use. Also, clearly the heart actually fell down here and I can still pick it up. So I may as well do that. Golden Soul, that's what it's called. So that opens... Oh, that's where the spiders were. Okay.
Watch it, Hiro.
I should probably tell her to stay here, but I'll humor the game. And I'll pretend for a little bit that it's worth having a buddy around. I will briefly play the game the way I'm supposed to. Probably regret it very soon, and then tell her to stay behind. Oh yeah, she's getting attacked by something, it sounds like. Or no, she just made a random grunt sound for no apparent reason. Can I have her pick this up?
Got it.
I can. Aha! And I can't even hit that pot right in front of me. Because I'm hitting the table instead. This collision is so fucked. If you can't program a sword, don't make a game about a sword. Like, that should be self-evident.
Stop pushing me around.
Well, then get the fuck out of the way, bitch.
Did you hear something?
Besides your inane dialogue? No.
Could you come up here a sec?
You mean over here? I'm not on a higher plane than she is.
Ready? 1, 2, push.
Make sure you do it behind the boulder so we don't have to animate it, because that would take a little bit of work.
Uh-oh. Cave in. Run for it.
And then they start running. Excellent reaction time. Wow, that was a close one.
Really get going.
Flawlessly executed.
Talk about cutting it close. Let's not do that again, okay?
Maybe next time we could run a little faster, considering in-game we move extremely quickly.
Only one way to find out.
Yes, a ladder. I get it. Oh, hey, a ghost again. I forgot this was a thing. It's been so long.
Hiro, what's wrong?
Did you see that?
See what? What are you talking about?
Never mind.
You could just tell her you saw a ghost. We've been sent to a different fucking time period by a legendary sword. I think at this point it would be pretty easy to believe. Anyway, I wanted to look at this because there's actually a very nice detail here where there's sort of breaks in the water here. It's not just seamlessly all the way around. It's sort of tapering into streams and leaving gaps. That actually looks much nicer than if it was just seamlessly all the way around. I'm not unwilling to say things in this game work when they do. Oh, shit. Oh, God. These dudes are kind of tough. Oh, the jump button didn't work. Awesome. Oh, they can throw. Why are you doing short-range melees? Mikiko, where did you go? Oh, were you just stuck? Oh, yeah, you're just stuck. No, come away from the edge. There you go. Oh shit, are these succubi? Oh, nice. Okay, you take that.
Got it.
Hopefully now she can throw a little more frequently. Again, though, the place still looks nice. Lots of nice cool blue tones, which I like. Although the torches are very warm, so we have good contrast as well. Ooh, a spinny door. Oh, and I accidentally... Oh my god, I did a shit ton of damage to her. I was actually looking past her, but because the sword has a tendency to hit things way to the side of where you're looking, I just did a metric shit ton of damage to Mikiko, and she's almost dead.
You got it.
So, well, add that to the seemingly endless list of reasons not to bother with the Daikatana. It has a tendency to myrtleize your buddy.
I seriously need some help right now.
Yeah, we got a thingy here.
Out of reach.
No, it's not. It's right in front of you.
I'll get it.
Venom. I mean, I could play with this, but if it can hurt me, that means it can also hurt Mikiko. Which I'm sure it will, because she'll be in the way. Ooh, that is a movable wall. Oh, it just leads me to a useless fucking power-up. That will wear off long before I even get to do anything with it. Also, since it didn't also give me full health. Oh, and it's the end of the level. Meaning, yeah, I'm not going to do anything with it whatsoever. Why was that even fucking there? So where the hell is Mikiko? She has clearly gotten stuck on something. Is she stuck on the door? Yeah. Oh dear God. Back off. You need to back up so that you're not stuck on the door. Back off. Just back off. I'll try to go the long way around and lure her the other direction because there's no way she's getting through that door. Except I can't actually get up there. Oh, did you get it? Oh, you almost had it there. Hit it. There we go. Now get the fuck out of here.
Pushing me around.
Oh my God, woman. Get through there. Okay, go. 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 Stop reactivating it and go. Okay. I will open it. Follow me through. Just get the fuck through the goddamn door. Why would you even put that door design in this game if your AI can't handle it? You should put that door in the game.
I can't leave without
Go,
Mikiko.
ooh, the AI doesn't handle this very well, and then redesign the door. That's called game design. If it doesn't work, you either have to fix it or change it to something else. You can't just leave it there and pretend that I won't notice, because I will notice. So I still haven't used these. So fuck it, I will throw one down there. He actually throws them quite far. Wow, that was incredibly 90s.
Consider it mine.
Yes. I don't know why your voice is so much louder than everything else, but okay. Oh shit. My God, these guys are fucking muscular. These guys' rations must consist entirely of steroids. Oh, did you just pick up a gun? Oh no, I don't want you using that. That means she's gonna do tons of damage to me. Yeah. Well, at least it doesn't make hideously annoying sound effects. Oh my God, there's nipples on that. How scandalous. Avert your eyes, Mikiko.
Let me get this one.
Ooh. There was a huge effect there, I guess because I reached 2 out of 5. So I think that means the Daikatana's more powerful now? Apparently the decimal points make no difference, it's only when you reach a round number? Oh shit. Oh, fuck me. That's a bit of a threat. Why is she not throwing her Disc of Daedalus? Did she throw it away when she picked up the Venom thing? Okay, fuck it. I'll just throw it at it from a distance. Get the... Mikiko, you idiot! Okay, is this thing just unkillable? Yeah, this thing's unkillable. Whatever, let's just retry that. Oh, fuck. You're not supposed to be here? Oh, it died really easily this time. Oh, god damn. And I just did a metric fuck ton of damage to her because the collision is fucked. Fuck this. God, man. Every time I'm almost having fun, something really stupid happens like that. And I don't know why the rate of fire on the sword is so random. Sometimes I can swing it sequentially quite rapidly, and other times there's a huge gap before I can actually swing it again. Ooh, what's this?
The hammer of Hades. Its power is derived from within.
I'm assuming it just hurts me to use it. Oh, no. Oh. Well, it does splash damage and hurts her too, so I probably shouldn't do that. Yeah, see, there's occasionally a huge pause in the swings. That's not me choosing not to swing anymore. That's it just not doing anything for no apparent reason. Because you can swing it a bunch, and then it just stops. And then it swings a bunch, and then it just stops. So I guess that's this game's equivalent of a combo? So when the combo's done, there has to be a gap before you can do it again? Oh, fuck. Well, those bounce quite a ways. Oh, fuck this thing. I hate the sounds it makes anyway. Oh, hey. It'd help if you could actually aim. Instead of just shooting the fucking staircase. I guess I go upstairs? Doesn't really seem to be a meaningful way forward. There is at least a decent variety to these tapestries. It seems like there's quite a few of them. Tapestries and engravings. There's a lot of unique ones where a lot of times, especially in games this old, you would see there'd be like 2 or 3 and they would just copy paste them. So I appreciate that. A fair bit of memory was spent making sure those didn't all just look the same. Oh shit. You blew up nice. Oh, that's the exit. Okay. Alright. Holy crap. It's been a few days for me. Been doing other shit. But this game got me into 90s shooter mode, and that means I had to break out all the old late 90s shooters and play through them all. So I played some Quake, played some Half-Life, I've been playing Quake 2. Notably, I played through, for a second time, the Call of the Machine expansion for Quake 2, which was the new expansion made for Quake 2 by Machine Games, the studio that made Wolfenstein: The New Order, which I really need to talk about someday, because I consider that game to be one of mankind's crowning artistic achievements as a species.
Don't fuck this up, you magnificent cunt.
But that's a story for another time. Way back on Quake 1's 20th anniversary, they made an expansion for it called, I think, Dimension of the Past. I seem to recall I played that when it was new. I've only played it once. I played it back when it came out. And I seem to recall being largely underwhelmed by it. It's not bad, but I didn't think it was particularly good. It's also weirdly short, or at least I remember it being. I remember going, oh, that's it? So I didn't think much of Dimension of the Past at the time, but they later, on the modernized re-release of Quake 2, which was in 2022 or 2023, very recently, Quake 2 got re-released by, Night Dive, because Night Dive re-releases everything. So it's running on the Kex engine, and it's all inclusive. It has Quake 2, both of its original expansions. It also has a port of Quake 2 of the N64 version, which is technically its own thing, although it's reusing chunks from the other expansions, I think mostly Ground Zero. And it also added a new expansion made for that release by Machine Games, and it's called Call of the Machine. And it is fucking amazing. I'm not even fucking around. It is gloriously good. If you love Quake 2 and you haven't played Call of the Machine, holy shit, stop watching this video and go play it because it's fucking amazing. Now, the re-release of Quake 2 in general, I wasn't super hot on it first because it's not just the original game running in higher res and supporting higher refresh rates and stuff. They actually made gameplay changes, which to me is like a cardinal sin of re-releasing old games like that. And I hated them at first because I'm a purist. I hate re-releases in general. I don't like remasters and remakes. But I got it for free because I owned the original Quake 2 on Steam. So I checked it out, and I hated it at first because they make gameplay changes. Notably, all of them are to make the game harder. So, like, enemies can actually dodge grenades now. Like, if you fire a grenade or rocket or projectile that travels towards enemies, they added a mechanic where the enemy will sidestep it. I hated all those changes at first. I have grown to like all of them, except one, which is that the Guardians, the ones that say Trespasser when they see you, they added a leaping attack to them, where they can actually just leap a huge distance and do this shockwave attack that does AoE damage. And that's the worst thing ever made by humans. Whoever put that in the game should be hunted down and locked in the stocks in a public location for the rest of their life, so that all of the human race can come and pelt them with tomatoes and gaze upon their pathetic shame. It's broken, it's badly implemented. They travel impossibly fast while it's happening. They can cover ridiculous distances while it's happening. Like the parabola they take in the leap doesn't even have to make physical sense. They can often just move completely laterally, even when the ceiling is low enough. There's no way they'd be able to jump that far. It's so badly implemented, it's a joke. It's fucking dog shit. That one feature alone is almost enough to ruin the entire thing. Because that attack does not exist, period, in the original game. It's brand new to the re-release. But Call of the Machine can only be played in the re-release, and
Did you hear something?
My god, shut up, Mikiko. It's worth playing the updated version just to play it. It's so good. The argument could be made that Call of the Machine is actually better than the original Quake 2, and that's an incredibly bold statement coming from somebody who considers the original Quake 2 to be one of the best games ever made. The most immediately apparent difference in Call of the Machine, I don't want to talk about this too long because we're here to talk about Daikatana, but my god, I just need to talk about Call of the Machine, and I probably won't anywhere else. It's relevant here because Quake 2 was contemporary with this game, because I've been comparing it to it constantly for how good Quake 2 is and how not good this is. Call of the Machine is not contemporary, but it's still derived from gameplay mechanics that existed before Daikatana. The most immediately apparent difference is that it's much more difficult than the base game of Quake 2, in the best possible way. It's really satisfying. It does it mostly through sheer enemy count. It throws a lot of enemies at you all at once, where the actual number of enemies you're facing simultaneously at any given time is much higher than it ever was in the original Quake 2. It throws a lot at you all at once. But it asks a lot of you in doing that, but it never feels unfair. It asks a lot of you, but if you can keep up, it's all totally fine. It never feels like it has stacked things against you unreasonably. It's perfect. The difficulty is absolutely spot on. The other big thing it does much better than the base game is it has much better visual variety and just visual appeal in general. As much as I love Quake 2, I do also think it's one of the ugliest games that's ever been made, and I believe I already said that earlier in Daikatana. And Call of the Machine looks infinitely better. There's a lot more variety, and each level looks very distinctly different. It uses different textures and assets. It has much more interesting lighting, and it uses a lot more color. And it's different colors in different levels. They all look very distinctive, and you get variety as you switch between levels. Where the original Quake 2 just looks so bland and samey from beginning to end. But the best part of Call of the Machine is, despite it looking so much better, it all still feels technically plausible for the time. It still looks as if it's Quake 2. It's using much better texture design, but the textures themselves are still super low res and pixelated. There's smarter use of color and smarter use of lighting and more interesting geometry in the levels, but it all still feels like something that actually could have been made at the time. It feels authentic to its era, while still looking so much more visually appealing than the original. All the level design is excellent. The layouts are great, the levels themselves, they feel good to run through. They give you a lot of complexity to the environment. There's lots of loop arounds and sort of doubling back on where you were to get you had an item and you double back to use it somewhere else. There's like branching pathways. It's kind of non-linear, but in a satisfying way, not a, oh fuck, I'm retreading the same ground kind of way. There's trials you can find, but there's like secret portals to, hidden portals to secret levels that are like much more difficult. They're like a challenge you have to survive, and those are really fucking satisfying to do. It's just fucking great. And you'll note looking at this footage,
Check that out.
that I'm playing it like ridiculously fast because it just kind of encourages you to do that due to its sheer enemy count. You have to keep moving. You just have to haul ass at all times. And one of the great things is there's like no latency whatsoever. It's so fucking responsive and fast. There is no latency. Now, I was playing at 120 frames a second and you're seeing footage at 60, so it looked smoother to me than what you're seeing here. Good God, it feels good. Like, it feels so fucking good. Ugh. And you'll also note looking at this footage, I can cut in a specific clip. I managed to get some good footage of it. I have this sort of aiming style where instead of aiming smoothly, like let's say with Mikiko here, instead of like aiming smoothly at her and then firing, what I tend to do with a mouse in particular, but I even kind of do this with an analog stick, is I'll aim next to her and then in one sort of motion twitch over to her and, yeah, I see I overshot, twitch over to her and fire in one motion, in sort of this like flick sort of thing. Here, because we're doing that weird mouse smoothing thing I was discussing, where like tiny, like if I just wiggle the mouse left and right, it sort of averages it out. It has that mouse smoothing baked in, even though here in config or options, or I guess mouse, yeah, I have smooth mouse turned off. It doesn't seem to do anything. So you can never actually get a muscle memory for it in this game. And so here you're seeing this footage of Quake 2 of me doing these crazy twitch shots where I'm like in just a couple frames flicking the mouse over with the railgun and hitting perfectly. Despite the fact that it's such a quick twitchy movement, but I can just, because of the low latency and because of the consistent mouse movement without this weird smoothing, I've built up a muscle memory for exactly how much mouse movement correlates to exactly how much screen movement. And once you've built up that muscle memory, you don't even have to think. You can just operate completely by feel, and it all just works, and everything lines up correctly without you having to respond visually to seeing your crosshair lining up. You can instead just do it purely from feel. And that is where the magic happens, and it feels so fucking good. And I can't do that here because the smoothing and the inconsistency of how the mouse moves here means I can never actually know exactly how much twitch is right. And so instead of doing it by feel, I'm having to do it by sight, where I'm moving my crosshair over and I'm stopping the movement, not when I feel like I've moved far enough, but when I'm physically seeing the crosshair line up with the target. And that is so much less responsive and satisfying, and it takes longer too because it relies on reaction time rather than, like those twitch shots I'm doing in that Quake footage, that has nothing to do with reaction time. I'm not reacting, I'm not pulling the trigger when I see the crosshair line up with the enemy. It's happening too fast for that. I'm moving the mouse and pulling the trigger at the same time, and I'm just happening to do it by the right amount because I know how much mouse movement is required to move the crosshair that far. Here I'm having to do the latter. I'm having to move the crosshair, visually react to it being lined up with the enemy, and then pull the trigger, and it's so much slower. The mouse is weirdly smoothed and averaged out, and I have tons of latency, and it just doesn't work. And again, Call of the Machine is not contemporary with this game. It's like 2022, but it's based on Quake 2's mechanics, which are actually older than Daikatana. So Call of the Machine could have been made prior to Daikatana existing, so this has nothing to do with era. So there's really no excuse for Daikatana to feel this shitty, frankly. Also, another huge benefit Quake 2 has is that there's never a fucking buddy in the way where you keep accidentally hitting them. The whole reason I'm going on this rant is it's such a stark comparison to have spent a couple days playing Quake 2 and Quake 1 and Half-Life, because the original Half-Life is very fast too, and then to come back to this, and those all feel so fucking good, so smooth and responsive and fast and visceral, and like you can just get into that flow state where you're not even really thinking about it, it's just sort of happening naturally, and it's so goddamn exciting. That's why I love 90s shooters so much, because there's a certain speed. Once you hit a certain level of speed, also I don't even know where I'm supposed to be going, it feels like everything's a dead end. Wait, that's where I came in, so let's go this way. It feels, there's a certain level of speed at which it's no longer possible to think in real time. So you end up having to do things based on feel and instinct and muscle memory rather than kind of consciously considering it. Where am I supposed to be going? I feel like everything's... Is this a switch? Oh, that's a switch! Oh, God. It's weird when they're fucking up the small stuff, because it's the big stuff that's hard to do. It's the broad strokes of actually designing the... Get the fuck out of the way, bitch! It's the broad strokes of actually just making the game in the first place that should be the difficult stuff. And here, they've spectacularly fucked up really small stuff that shouldn't actually be difficult to design. Also, I have no clue where Mikiko went. I think she's just mad. Oh, no, she's stuck. I thought she made me mad that I called her bitch, but no, she's just stuck like an imbecile because... I really shouldn't have played Quake 2 in between sessions of this game because it made me hate it a lot more. It hurts coming back to this. And it's a shame, too, because the premise here is fantastic. There's so much promise to the core idea of this game. I actually like the setting. We start dystopian, but there's this sword that allows time travel, and time travel lets you go to a bunch of different settings, so you can have lots of visual variety that way by just going to different time periods. So much cool shit could be done with that, and instead, the premise is wasted on the fact that it's just not actually that much fun to play. But it's... Part of what's bumming me out here is that so much of what I see here, in theory, could be great. I'm not seeing a game that's just rotten to its core. Because when you see a game that's just rotten to its core, where just nothing works and it's all dull, it's easy to dismiss that and just go, oh, well, it's just a bad game, whatever. I can't just dismiss this game as, oh, it's just crap, you know, it's just a bad game, it's just rotten to its core. Because it's really not rotten to its core. There's enough here that's cool and promising that's actually what's pissing me off, that it's not more fun than it is, because I can envision in my head a version of this game that's really fucking fun and could have been one of the nicer 90s shooters. This could have been up there with Quake 2 and Half-Life. And that, oh, she's stuck again. And that's so much more disheartening than something that's just conceptually naff to its core. When even your central ideas suck, you're not really bummed out that it didn't work. You just go, oh, well, it was just bad ideas. So I think Mikiko's just out of the equation now, because she's going to be stuck in that fountain indefinitely. And then that thing died weirdly easily, where that one utterly destroyed me and I hit it like 100 times. Was that just a glitch and it wasn't supposed to be that tough? I don't even know. And let's power up the Daikatana. I'm at 2.25. 2.28. Yeah, those give almost nothing. In fact, I haven't actually checked really if different enemy types give different amounts.
I can't leave without Mikiko.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to extricate her from that fucking fountain. Alright, bitch. Let's get you out of here. Come on.
Stop pushing me around.
Or is it actually impossible for you to get out? See, this is why you need old saves, because I might actually... If I can't get her out of this fountain, I'm gonna have to reload. Get out. Get out. Just jump. I know you can jump. You do it elsewhere. How do I get in there? Is it down here? Ooh. Ah, okay. There we go. Ooh, gold armor. Poseidon's Trident. Oh, I haven't really used the hammer yet, have I? Okay, apparently this thing has ammo. It does look cool, though. It's sort of, like, I guess manta ray inspired, and it seems to be breathing. Is it alive, or is that just supposed to be jiggling from movement because I'm wobbling it around? Also, Mikiko is still stuck. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to load an older save. I think the game is actually unwinnable at this point. Because she's stuck. There's no way to get her out.
Stop pushing me around.
And I can't progress to the next area as long as she's in here. A solution here, well, I mean, the obvious solution would be to cut the buddy system because it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, it needs to be cut. The second most obvious solution would be to add a step in here. See this height here? just divide that height in half, and right about here, add another, like, flanged step to it. Sort of like out here. See, we have this step here, and then up to that one, and they're about equal height, so this occurs at about halfway. Just to make this extend to the inside as well. And then, she would be able to just step up this like stairs. Since her AI doesn't know to jump here, she can't clear it, because you can't run over this, you have to jump. But her AI apparently doesn't know to jump here. So if it was stepped like this, you could just walk out of it, because I don't have to jump in. I can just walk in, because these divisions, that division there is the division of stair height that you can just step up without jumping. So just put that on the inside. Like, it's that easy. Instead, the game is completely unwinnable now. So I'm going to have to load a save, which just makes me obviously very, very happy. Oh, yeah, this is annoying too. So the save menu puts your oldest at the top and your newest at the bottom. The load menu does the opposite. Your newest is at the top and your oldest is at the bottom. But yeah, the other solution would be just to do what other games with followers do. And just have her teleport closer to you if she falls too far behind. I do still love that everything blows into chunks when you kill it. Oh, she doesn't know what to do because the door is open. Well, shouldn't the door close eventually?
Oh, won't budge.
Is this the only door in the game that doesn't auto-close? Great. So the only door in the entire game that doesn't close in 1 second is the one door that's blocking Mikiko from coming back down here. How do you even fuck that up? Did literally nobody playtest this? Can you hop down here? Oh, thank God. So here I'm gonna try out the hammer. Well, yeah, it does seem to do area effect damage. I can hit more than one. But it takes forever to attack. Oh God, that thing feels like ass to use. You don't want to be up against a skeleton during this animation because then they get tons of free attacks. So what you kind of have to do is click it while you're away from them. Let's say this wall is a skeleton. You have to click it while you're away from them and then try to move in at the last second, which requires you to get a feel for how long this thing takes to go off, and then adjust as needed based on the movement of the enemies. And that just makes it really unsatisfying to use, because rather than just clicking to attack, I'm having to click and then futz about for a while waiting for it to happen.
I seriously need some help right now.
Yeah, I know, but whose fault is that? Now I need to... Oh God! And of course the game has the problems so many shooters have, where going down a ladder is essentially impossible, because you have to, like, creep over the edge of it, and then once you've cleared the edge, you then just fall instead of grabbing the ladder. If I had $1 for every shooter I've played that fucks up ladders, I'd have quite a few dollars. There's a couple that don't. Half-Life 2 notably doesn't, because you actually press a use key to get onto it.
I can't leave without Mikiko.
Which is the same thing Crisis does. You press a use key to get onto it. Going up's always fine. It's only going down that's the problem, because what happened... Wow, that scene was pointless. We just swooped the camera over to them and then cut. Why was that there?